going to quickly go over everything I have on the car that I've done, and then maybe some future plans I have, you know, what I want to do next to the car. Stripe garage stripes. I have these black stripes on the side of the car. They cost me 57 bucks. I ended up having to buy them twice just because I bought them before I painted the car, and then I had to buy them again after the car was painted because they couldn't reuse them. My mistake, I should have just waited. Next, we have my Momo steering wheel. Inside the car, it's a suede Momo steering wheel. I bought that for $270. I wanted a on-brand steering wheel that was nice looking, and I wanted suede at the time. I thought I would be doing spec Miata racing. Well, turns out I didn't end up doing that, and yeah, so now I have a suede steering wheel, which is quite a pain in the butt, to be completely honest. Suede absorbs oil and moisture extremely well, so any dirt you have on your hands or oils, which we all have, gets absorbed into the wheel, and it actually makes the suede material matted. And when you have the material matted, it looks bad, it feels bad, so it's just kind of a pain to take care of. I have gloves. I try to wear them as much as I can. Eventually I will switch out that wheel for the same wheel, probably just in a leather wrap. Next, I have my cold air intake. So a lot of people do this on all their cars. It only works well if you actually have a cold air intake. Let me pop the hood here for a second. So when I talk about cold air intake, this is what I mean. This setup right here. I have a heat shield. I have another heat shield for my header. A cone filter, I got this from Advanced Auto Parts. I think it was like $40. And then there's an adapter here. This plate was actually given to me by my dad because he had a bunch of them laying around. It adapts the square hole to the round hole for the cone filter. Originally I had an air box. You might get 1 or 2 horsepower, you know, depending on how well it's sucking in cold air. You're not gonna see some like major gains in power. So after that, going back to the wheel, I bought a adapter hub for my steering wheel because the Momo wheel doesn't just fit directly on. I ended up having to get this red hub. It was around 40 bucks, but it's able to fit Sparco style wheels, NRG style wheels, and Momo style wheels. So they all have different bolt patterns, and that way I'm able to fit whatever wheel down the line if I decide to change. I didn't want to buy a $90 Momo wheel adapter that can only fit Momo, and it's super expensive. So next on the list, I have brake pads and brake calipers. When I got the car, the brake calipers, some of them were seized and they weren't working well. So I went ahead and got 4 new brake calipers, just OEM ones, just brand new, and 4 brake pads. So the brake pads cost me 40 bucks, about the cheapest set I could find. And I brought 4 calipers for $140. I went with OEM because originally it was going to be a spec Miata car and you have to have OEM. Now I can go to a big brake kit down the line when I need it. Right now the car stops just fine. So next on the list, I have my front garage vary lip. There's a lot of these on eBay you can find for cheap. This one was $347. It is a real garage vary lip from Japan. I had it shipped here. It took around 2.5 months, and it was a lot of money for shipping. Anyways, it came in all black, came with some candy, all the parts, and even some instructions in Japanese, which I still have. I got it color matched when I had the car repainted. That's the look I was going for, along with these Moss Miata turn signal intakes. Those were also color matched. They came in black. Next, I have the rear wing or ducktail. This I actually just got from eBay. It was like $130, $125, $130. It's actually just held on with sticky tape right now. So if you want to steal my wing, you can. I didn't feel like drilling holes. Gingium, where I get a lot of my information from on this car, did the same exact thing. He doesn't have holes. I might do it down the line just to make it look a little more secure, I guess, and so I don't have to worry about people stealing it, but for right now it does the job. Going back to my turn signal intakes, I got these for 130 bucks from Moss Miata. I actually got a second pair because the first pair I got was missing this plastic piece. So they sent me a whole nother set, so my dad ended up taking the bad set and he made out of plexiglass a little piece of glass basically. And yeah, so now he has a set of his own. These came in black. I got them color matched, and I think it looks really good. Makes the car look like a toy car, really clean looking. Next we have my roll bar. So I got a Hard Dog roll bar. I forgot the exact name of it, but I looked at getting a cheaper roll bar. People say spend the money, get a name brand roll bar, because it is worth it. The quality is better, the welds are better, and you don't want to mess around. You know, this is a safety item. So I ended up going with the Hard Dog roll bar. Next, I got a gauge cluster from Rev 9 Autosport. The gauge cluster is right there. I bought the new LEDs, all the faces, and even the dials. So that ended up costing me 150 bucks for that. I think it makes the interior look a lot nicer. There's a whole bunch you can choose from. That's the one I liked. I also got the hardtop. This car originally came with a tan soft top. I love convertibles. My other car is a Jeep Wrangler. I always have the soft top off as much as I can. With Miatas, they look better with a hardtop. I do not like how they look without the hardtop, and supposedly it adds a little bit of rigidity and stiffness to the chassis. So I ended up picking this up in Orlando for $1,500. I had a hardtop before that. It was a CFM, I think, Fabrications. It was a lightweight fiberglass hardtop. I'm sorry, lightweight fiberglass hardtop. It was around 12 pounds. And I ended up trading the guy because he had a Miata that he was using purely for drifting. So I ended up getting this one, which is an OEM hardtop. It was red. I had them repaint it red when I had the whole car painted, just so it would, you know, all be one color, nice new paint. Next, we have my Power Tricks coilovers. So I got these coilovers here, all 4 of them from Power Tricks. I ended up getting them for about $1,000, a little over $1,000. They were able to give me a discount code. They make a lot of stuff for the Nissan Zs. They also have a line for NA and NB Miatas. If you watch the Car Passion channel, I highly recommend him. Greg Peters does a great job with a bunch of tutorial videos and just, you know, Miata guru stuff. He runs these coilovers as well. So based off of him and his videos, I decided to go with them. They also threw me a bunch of free merch. I got, you know, lanyards, license plate tag, a window sticker I had on for a while, so that was really nice of them. Next up on the list is the Konig wheels. I have Konig Countergram 15 by 9 inch wheels. They ended up costing me $676. I also got Falcon Azenis R660s. They're wrapped on 245/40 R15s. So they're a pretty meaty tire for this car. Again, going back to Gingium, he has 9.5 inch wide wheels, and he says he rubs just a little bit based off one of his videos. So I figured I could get away with a 9 inch wheel and not rub, and I don't. This is, from what I understand, the biggest you can get in a stock bodied Miata, you know, without heavy modification. All these decals I have on the back, including the window banner up front. I didn't get all of them from the companies I work with. You know, some of them I did, some of them I bought myself because I wanted, you know, to advertise the parts I'm putting on the car. So in total, it costed me around 37 bucks for all the decals. Next, we have the Megasquirt. So I used to run a Megasquirt ECU in the car. It's the computer system. When I go turbo, I will need the Megasquirt. By that time, I'll have a MS2 or an MS3 plug and play. Right now, I'm actually on the stock ECU because I'm not good enough at tuning to make the car feel good while running Megasquirt. So the Megasquirt costed me $275. I actually bought it off my dad because he found it first, and he wants to turbo his car as well. If you don't know, my dad has a 91 Mariner Blue Miata, mainly stock. It was actually turboed quite a few years ago when I was little, but now it's, you know, naturally aspirated, but he wants to go back to a turbo again. Anyways, next on the list, we have carpet. So I said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more. I made this a spec Miata car first. I ripped out the carpet, I ripped out the seats, I ripped out as much of the dash as I could, took away the radio, took out the cruise control, all that good stuff. So I threw it away. Then I decided that I needed it, and I bought it from Aux Miata again for like 400 bucks. IRP short throw shifter. I'm gonna have a separate video or two talking about my shifter, but that is a short throw shifter right there. It costed me $460, which is a little less than what they sell for. I was able to get a discount code, a custom color, and they even engraved it for me. I think that is one of the best modifications you can do to your Miata. It just enhances the driving experience so much. It takes the shift throws from 6 inches to 3 inches. The gates feel so crisp and clean when you're going in and out of them. It's my favorite thing I've done to this car so far. After that, we have Hub-Centric Rings. There's plenty of videos saying you should, you shouldn't. I ended up getting them because I didn't know any better. They're so cheap, it doesn't hurt. Hub-Centric Rings go on the hub of the wheel. So when you mount your tire and your rim, the wheel is centered not off the lug nuts and how you tighten them, but off of the actual hub. So it is truly centered. Some people say you can, wear the car unevenly and the tires unevenly if you don't use them. I've never had a problem, but I put them on this car. They were only $25, so, doesn't hurt. I have a gauge pod pillar that'll go on my side of the car. It'll have my boost gauge and my airflow meter gauge. I already bought it because I thought I'd be doing this sooner. It goes right here. I don't have it on yet, but I also got that from Moss Miata, and it only costed me around $60. Circuit Performance lugs. So these lug nuts you see here are actually from Amazon. They come with their own key, so you need the key to take them off, otherwise they're locked basically. And those were super cheap. I got them for 22 bucks, and I still have 5 of them sitting in a box that are brand new because it's meant for a car with more than just 4 lugs per wheel. So after the lug nuts, we have my Aux Beam Headlights. If you don't know, you can use Jeep headlights for Miatas. They're all 7-inch wide headlights. These are real Aux Beam headlights. A lot of them look similar, but these are Aux Beam. They look good. I will eventually go to like a rigid light, kind of like how OMG Miata has with the halo behind it. But for right now, these do the trick. The headlights only costed me $120 for the pair. So next on the list, we have Race Quip harnesses. I bought both of these because I wanted a matching set. They're Race Quip 5-point cam lock harnesses. Right now, I had to sell my bucket seats that I did own. I had to sell them, and I got my stock seats put back in, so they're technically 4 points. They still do the trick. I'm not quite sure how legal they are on the street, so just buyer beware. But they costed me, I believe, $300 for the set. Now, something with harnesses you probably might not know is that they go bad, they expire. The material they're weaved with gets damaged by the sun and old age, and you have to retire them. So these are good till 2022 or 2023, I'm not quite sure, but it says it on there. If you're buying harnesses, look for the tag. Same with seats. They expire, so you want to make sure they're, 1, for real, so they'll have that tag, and 2, you're not buying an expired set, because 1, you don't know if they're good, and 2, if you do go to the track, you might not be able to go on the track because they'll check to see the date it expired. Next up, we have our hardware brackets. Now these I haven't gotten in yet. I bought them from a company months ago, and the company has gone missing in action. I can't get a hold of them. They're hardtop brackets. The hardtops on Miatas like to get stolen quite a bit, so I ended up buying it's 90 bucks. They're locking hardtop brackets. I just haven't gotten them in yet. The paint job. Now I got this car completely repainted. It was red. I had it repainted the same OEM red. The paint job originally cost me $1,600. I ended up paying $1,400 because the guys screwed up. They had orange peel, they had bubbles in the paint, they had crinkles, they missed some spots, they painted over my license plate lights. They did a bad job. When we went there, I won't name the company, but when we went there to pick up the car, we said, look, this isn't worth, $1,600. So they said they'd fix it. They put it on their list, and it took them a while, but it looks a heck of a lot better. It's by no means perfect. There's still some stuff that, could have been done better, some better masking, some more buffing, but they wet sanded it. It looks good. I'm happy with the paint job, especially for the price. Paint is expensive, prep work is expensive. Next, I have the underglow. I think this car looks like a toy car. It's a cute looking Miata to me. People try to make their Miatas look angry and mean. This car looks cute. I think it's adorable. The underglow with matching red lights, I think, adds to the effect. It's a Japanese sports car. It looks like it came out of a, you know, cereal box or something like that. And that's it for what I have done to the car so far. A lot of work went into making it, you know, problem-free, getting rid of any rust, putting it back together after I took it apart for spec Miata racing. A turbo kit. The car looks fast, I want it to be fast. It might be fast around a corner, but as soon as you leave that corner, you're left in the dust. Don't let anyone fool you. Miatas are not fast stock. I also want to do engine rebuild. I've got a 1.6 on a stand in my garage with, it's already rebuilt. I want to put forged internals in it, just like Gingium did. And right now this has a short nose. I want to put a long nose in it with forged internals and a rebuild kit. I don't want to have any problems with my engine. I'd like to do a wire tuck, all that jazz. I want to put heavier sway bars. It already has coilovers. It handles like a dream. I think it'll handle even better if it has a nice set of sway bars on it. That's just another suspension component that transfers weight from one side of the car to the other, and I think that'll help it a lot. Eventually, once I'm making enough power with my turbo kit, I will need a 6-speed manual transmission. They have a little more bracing. They're a little tougher. They can take a little more power than the 5-speed I have now. I want an LSD, which is a limited slip differential. Right now this is open diff. And I think that's about it for now. I'm not sure what else I could do to the car. Visually, it's about as good as I think it'll ever get. I'll definitely get a new window sticker because I think this one looks a little cheesy. I just wanted to get rid of the Power Tricks one. You know, if you want me to do a certain type of video, let me know. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. If you want to see more of something, let me know.